is freezing on this Friday morning. It is January the 3rd. I'm Emily Vukovic, filling in for the vacationing Tom Reynolds, Jeremy Elliott. How do you feel about minus 35 wind chill, Jeremy?
I don't want to feel it at all. I don't have any feelings on this whatsoever. None. It's not good.
We sat down at the briefing desk this morning and Jeremy said, I couldn't feel my feet until I got to Winston Churchill. And where do you live?
Over in the beaches.
You live in the beaches, and it took you until you got to almost work?
Oh, it was cold.
Oh, boy.
It was very, very cold.
Yeah, today is one of the coldest mornings. A lot of areas reported, well, close to 18 centimeters, but because it was so windy and blowing around, it was very difficult to get the exact measurement. But temperatures were cold yesterday. It is frigid this morning. Currently, we're sitting at minus 22, feeling like minus 31 for the city of Toronto. Feels like minus 35 at Pearson. That was my reference earlier. So cold. Feels like minus 35 in Oshawa. It actually feels like minus 30 in Kitchener. So today is one of those days where, you know, those like hot paws, you can put them in your gloves today and in your shoes because you're going to need them. If you're waiting for a bus this morning, if you're waiting for GO Transit, it is going to be freezing. Dress for it. Here are our temperatures for this afternoon. You thought, well, it'll get warmer. No, it doesn't. It's still going to feel like minus 20 this afternoon, but we are going to be seeing some sunshine. That is going to be the silver lining in all of this. High pressure firmly in place. But we do have a wind chill warning, and we do have a snow squall warning down towards Sarnia. So if you are traveling in that direction, poor visibility could be a bit of an issue. The wind chill warning, because wind chill values are feeling anywhere between minus 30 and minus 40. We'll talk about your weekend forecast. We'll give you good news and bad news in just a moment. But first, Jeremy, you got any good news on the roads? Well, we are going to be seeing temperatures warm up, which I think is good news for many people. We are going to see a daytime high of minus 1 tomorrow. If you've got anything that you need to get done, do it tomorrow, because Sunday, unfortunately, we do have another major snowfall on the way. Heavy Sunday overnight and into Monday. We're looking at about 10 to 15 centimeters for the GTA. Good morning. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd, and it is so cold. Frostquake is trending on Twitter. Jeremy, give us a good explanation of frostquake, because you have a good one.
Well, I looked it up this morning, and the word is cryoseism, if I'm pronouncing it properly.
I have
no idea. This early in the morning, my brains are all Google. That's all it is. And apparently when the ground is heaving from the frost in a large area, it creates this loud cracking noise.
And it's actually waking people up in the city of Toronto. I live in Oakville. You live in the beaches, but you didn't hear anything.
No, but then again, I wake myself up from snoring, so I can sleep through a train wreck.
Apparently. Okay, well, that's what it is. So if you heard a loud boom last night, it's just the ice. Don't worry. No one's ever been injured by a frostquake. So it's just that cold. And through St. Catharines, so you can see a lot of incidences on the highway. There was actually a 30 to 40 car pileup, I believe, on the QEW through Beamsville. So really, really slippery roads yesterday. Today, the roads they've gotten a lot better. My drive-in was a lot better this morning than it was this time yesterday morning. But Jeremy's going to have all those details in a moment. Looking at temperatures, cold, so cold, it actually feels like minus 31 through the city of Toronto. Feels like minus 35 at Pearson. Feels like minus 25 through St. Catharines, minus 35 through Oshawa, and unfortunately stays cold throughout the day today. We're looking at minus 20. That's what it's going to feel like for the city. Minus 20 through Orangeville. It'll feel like minus 19 through Barrie and minus 20 through Newmarket. Now, we do have a wind chill warning in place. Temperatures feeling anywhere from minus 30 to minus 40 this morning. It is going to warm up, but not by much, as you just saw. And we do have a snow squall warning down towards the Sarnia area. So if you're traveling 401 corridor in that direction, we do have a streamer coming off of Huron that is giving some poor visibility and slippery roads. Speaking of slippery roads, Jeremy, how are things faring this morning?
Well, it certainly is slippery.
Would you prefer the good news or the bad news first? I'll give you the good news first. Warming temperatures. Minus 1 tomorrow, 0 for Sunday. Getting cold again next week. The bad news, we've got 10 to 15 centimeters of snow on the way. New system develops Sunday into Monday, and this is going to be giving us about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. So Monday morning, back to work, back to school, things could be a little dicey. We'll talk more about it coming up. This is what it looked like in Halifax last night. A rare blizzard warning. Here at home, it is just plain cold, dangerously cold. You can see it here. Steam created by icy air over relatively warm water was rising off Lake Ontario yesterday within the next 20 minutes. Our winter is off to a robust start, but at least we're not alone in our misery. This is what it looks like in the Hi there, good morning. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd. Happy New Year. A lot of us are getting back to the swing of work and school. Next week, temperatures are warming up, but we've got some major snow on the way.
Yeah, I'm not back into the swing of winter at all. I'm still in denial.
Yeah, I think many people are, especially today. It is so cold. And the new word that's trending on Twitter is frostquake. And that just means a big sheet of ice literally cracking and making it seem like an earthquake. And it's incredibly loud, apparently.
Apparently. I don't know. Cryoseism?
Cryoseism.
There we go.
That's another word. That's the more scientific word. I'm just going with icequake. This is how cold. Temperatures into the minus 20s, feeling more like the minus 30s. Feels like minus 35 at Pearson right now, minus 31 through the city of Toronto. It's not going to get much warmer either. We've got temperatures hitting minus 20, or feeling like minus 20 rather, this afternoon through Toronto with a temperature of minus 15. Minus 15 through Newmarket, feeling like minus 20, feeling like minus 20 through Oshawa and St. Catharines. It's just cold. It's really cold. Record-breaking cold. We actually broke a record yesterday through Markham. And even this morning, we broke a record through Markham. Minus 24.1. Old record, minus 20.9 back in 2008. Port Colborne is cold enough to be record-breaking, as is Mount Forest. Minus 23.8. Minus 23 was the old record back in 1996. So today, it is recommended like 9 pairs of pants, 4 jackets, 3 toques, couple pairs of mitts. It's so cold if you're waiting for transit. Just keep in mind that we do have a wind chill warning in place, so it is feeling closer to minus 30, minus 40 when you factor in the wind. So just try your best to stay warm today and make sure you're safe and don't spend extended periods of time outside because it is just too cold. Is the cold affecting your commute? It just might be. Here's Jeremy with all the answers. I have good news and bad news. This time I'll give you the bad news first. We've got some major snow on the way. Sunday overnight into Monday, 10 to 15 centimeters is quite likely throughout the GTA. Not good for everybody getting back to work and getting back to school. The good news, however, is that temperatures are going to be warming. We're seeing a high of -1 by tomorrow. At least we're not alone. Coming up, a winter wallop in the U.S. and what that means here at home. This is what it looked like in Halifax last night. A rare blizzard warning was issued for the city yesterday. Here at home, it's just plain cold, dangerously cold. You can see it here, steam created within the next 20 minutes. Our winter is off to a robust start, but at least we're not alone in our misery. This is what it looks like in the U.S. We'll take a look at our weekend forecast in just a few moments. But right now I'm going to turn things over to Jeremy. He's got a quick look at your commute. Good morning. If you are just debating whether or not you should get out of bed, don't do it. No, I'm kidding. Get out of bed, but make sure you bundle up today because today is absolutely frigid. You might be a little tired than normal because of the frost quakes that we've been hearing rumbling through the overnight throughout much of the GTA. This is actually trending on Twitter. Frostquake. I know if you're like, what are you talking about? What's a frostquake? Well, a frostquake is known as a I'm going to start that all over again. A frostquake can be caused by a sudden cracking in frozen soil or rock that is saturated with water or ice. So what happens is a little crack, it just starts to get a little larger and then water seeps in, and then as soon as it actually really cracks, it's almost like a loud boom. Sounds kind of like an earthquake. The good news is that they're relatively safe, meaning no one's actually ever been hurt by a frostquake. But if you did hear some loud noises last night, that's potentially what it could have been. And no doubt with temperatures like this. In Markham, we've actually broken a record. Minus 24.1 this morning. The old record, minus 20.9 back in 2008. We also broke a record in Mount Forest, minus 23.8. It's the 0.8 that broke the record, and the old record set back in 1996. With temperatures this cold, we have water mains that break, and this is exactly what happened to a building on the Queensway, and you can see literally the windows are ice cubes. It's just completely frozen. Temperatures this morning feeling like the minus 30s. If you want to stay warm, here are some tips on how to do that. Winter comfort tips. Arctic conditions will require an enduring jacket, dress in warm layers, and limit the amount of exposed skin. So be safe out there this morning. Here's Jeremy with a look at your commute. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd, and it is freezing.
That's it. That's the news. We're done.
That's it. Temperatures this morning are so cold. We have Mike Arsenault. He's actually live on location in Toronto, but we can't find him, and we think he's just ducked into a Tim Hortons, and that's it.
Yeah, he's with a blanket around him like this.
Yeah, it's so true. It is so cold. You really need to bundle up this morning. We're talking layers. Like, you wore flannel-lined khakis today?
Yes, I did. Thanks, Mom.
I think it's awesome that they actually
Christmas
make
gift.
those for adults. Because Brooklyn has a pair, but hers are jeans. But they're flannel on the inside. That's amazing.
They're so comfy. They're not to be denied whatsoever.
I think I need a pair of those. All right, well, temperatures this morning, so cold. It's just been quite a winter so far. And it's not over yet. Not even close. I think it's like 168 days until summer. I don't know. I think I saw that on Facebook yesterday. I shed a little tear. It makes it sound like it's so far away, doesn't it? Brr. Okay, I need my clicker. I'm going to get it. All right, temperatures into the minus 20s this morning, but actually feeling like the minus 30s. It is really, really cold. Minus 31 is what it feels like right now. Feels like minus 35 at Pearson. This afternoon, I wish I could give you better news and say, oh, it's going to warm up, but it's not really. It's still going to feel like the minus 20s. It has been cold enough that we've actually broken some records. Through Markham, we're looking at minus 24.1, the old record minus 20.9 set back in 2008. Record breaking through Mount Forest as well. Wind chill warnings in place, snow squall warning down towards the Sarnia area. We just have a little streamer coming off of Lake Huron, causing some very poor visibility. So if you're traveling in that direction, just be a little mindful. Now, are all these cold temperatures affecting the morning commute? Jeremy has the answers.
Oh, they certainly are.
Hi there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd, 2014. Happy New Year. It is so incredibly cold this morning. Yesterday, Mike Arsenault was out in the field, right?
Yes, doing push-ups.
Doing push-ups to stay warm. He was wearing 5 pairs of pants, or no, 4 pairs of pants.
4 pairs of pants.
How many pairs of mitts?
3 shirts, 2 mitts, and a partridge in a pear tree. I don't.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was like yesterday. And today he is outside. And this morning's colder, keep in mind. It's actually colder than it was yesterday. And I think he was dreading it a little bit this morning. So he's like, I got to find somewhere inside. So, Mike, can you hear us? Do we have you? Do we have him? We have him. Okay.
There he is.
Mike, I would love to know how many pairs of pants you're wearing today, because it's colder. And where's your toque? What's wrong with you right now? Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, that was a good reference. It's true. You know what? It's even colder. Let's make sure he works again today. All right. It is so cold. It's actually feeling like minus 31. So if you're like Mike, don't be like Mike. Wear a toque. I don't know. He's outside for 2 seconds. He should still have a toque on. Temperatures this afternoon are not going to get that much warmer. We're actually getting up to minus 15, feeling like minus 20 when you factor in the wind. It's cold enough to be record-breaking through Markham and through Mount Forest and through Port Colborne. It's actually minus 24 through Markham, the old record, minus 20.9. Wind chill warning in place. It is so cold, it actually feels like the minus 30 to minus 40 range. And we do have a snow squall warning down towards the Sarnia area. We do have a squall coming off of Lake Huron, causing some poor visibility. So if you're traveling in that direction, just keep that in mind this morning. Now, I was talking to Jeremy off air just a few moments ago, and he said, I cannot believe I have 4 collisions on the QEW alone. Tell us about those delays. We have a warm-up. That's good news. Tomorrow, minus 1. Like, we're literally going to warm up like 15, 16 degrees. And then on Sunday, a high of 0. But that's when we're going to see some significant snow. Throughout the GTA, we've got a system coming up from the U.S., pulling up some moisture from the Gulf. Could give us about 10 to 15 centimeters overnight and into your Monday morning commute. Hi there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd, and it is freezing. And that's all we have to say.
And frostquakes.
Oh, yes, and frostquakes. It's actually trending on Twitter. BJ, one of our producers, actually got woken up by 2 of them.
I've slept through train wrecks. I actually have slept through a train wreck.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. It's so cold that temperatures are record-breaking through some areas through the GTA. How cold is it? Well, let's turn things over to Mike Arsenault. Oh, wait, he's not outside. He's actually taken the high road and moved inside a building this morning. Haven't you, Mike? And as far as I know, you're checking out some pretty cool new rides. Thanks, Mike. We'll check in your long range in just a moment, but first, here's Jeremy.
Well,
temperatures warming up significantly by tomorrow. We're looking at -1 and then 0 for Sunday, but we do have some significant snow on the way. Sunday overnight to Monday, we could see 10 to 15 centimeters. A rare blizzard warning was issued for the city of Halifax yesterday, and that warning continues into this morning. Here at home, it's just plain cold. Dangerously cold. You can see it here. Steam caused by icy air over relatively warm water was rising off Lake Ontario yesterday. We're going to turn things over to Mike Arsenault now. He is live, but inside the Toronto Motorcycle Super Show. Mike, are you going to be leaving there with a motorcycle today, you think? Good morning. It is a very cold start to the day. Normally I say chilly, but today it is just downright cold. Temperatures actually feeling like the -30s when you factor in the wind chill. Now, temperatures have been so cold that you may have been woken up last night by a sudden boom or what felt kind of like an earthquake. Well, it wasn't an earthquake, but it was a frostquake, which is similar but not really. Here's the description. Now, this is trending on Twitter. This is a big deal today. Frostquake, a cryoseism, also known as a frostquake, can be caused by a sudden cracking in frozen soil or rock that is saturated with water or ice. All it takes is a very small crack, a little bit of water to seep into it, and that's where you get that cracking, kind of almost like an explosion. So if you did hear that last night, you thought, what was that noise? Is my house falling down around me? No, it was just a frostquake, and they're relatively safe, meaning no one has actually been hurt in a frostquake. But they're interesting nonetheless, and trending on Twitter, which I thought was pretty cool. No wonder when we have temperatures this cold. It's actually record-breaking cold through Markham, -24.1 this morning. Old record, -20.9 back in 2008. Record-breaking through Mount Forest, the old record, 96.23, -23, and today we've hit -23.8. So incredibly cold temperatures. Cold enough to have water mains break. I know, it's the time of year, and in the city of Toronto, we deal with these quite often during the winter months. And this is a building on the Queensway. Water main break is a commercial building, and you can see the windows. They've turned into ice cubes. Unbelievable, isn't that? Imagine you were going to work there today. No thanks, it'd be freezing. It's also all over the road and the sidewalks. It's not good. Temperatures this morning into the -20s, but actually feeling like the -30s. Now, when it's this cold, some winter warming tips. Make sure you have a good jacket. Arctic conditions will require an enduring jacket, dress in warm layers, and limit the amount of exposed skin. So be safe out there this morning. Is the cold temperature affecting the roads? We'll find out. Here's Jeremy. Yes, I know, a frostquake. Have you heard of that before? Did it wake you up last night? Well, we'll explain all of that in detail coming up. But first, let's check in with Mike. Mike, it is a cold one today, and I noticed you don't have 18 layers on like you did yesterday. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this very cold Friday. It is January the 3rd. Temperatures are into the -20s. Feels like the -30s. Perfect for you to be feeling in because I know you really enjoy the cold temperatures.
No, I don't. I enjoy the morning. But I'll bear the cold temperatures with my flannel-lined pants.
It's true. He wore a pair of flannel-lined khakis today.
Yeah, it works. It's that and wool socks. You can't deny them.
Well, I think Mike needs a pair of flannel-lined khakis. I know yesterday he was wearing 4 pairs of pants, and I think today he's wearing 4 pairs of pants as well. He's got 2 winter jackets on, a toque. You need something else on your head, I think, Mike. You need a hood with maybe some fleece or fur or something.
Here's Emily.
Cryoseismic or frostquake. That's what we were experiencing last night. If you heard that loud cracking, that loud bang, yeah, that was a frostquake. Your house was not falling down around you. Temperatures have been just so cold that the large sheets of ice on the ground that are so saturated, they've just started to crack, and that's why you heard those loud noises. Now, temperatures are really warming up significantly, so I think last night the frostquakes are probably over. We're going to see a daytime high of -2 tomorrow in Hamilton, 0 for Sunday, but that snow that Mike was just mentioning, that's going to be at its heaviest Sunday overnight into Monday, just in time for the Monday morning commute, 15 centimeters possible. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is Friday. It is January the 3rd. And it's in the minus 20s, feeling like the minus 30s.
It's Friday, it's freezing, and it's frostquakes.
Ooh!
There we go.
Good segue.
Yeah,
It's all about the frostquakes. If you heard them last night, they're so loud, incredibly loud. I didn't hear any in Oakville. You didn't hear any on the beaches.
I sleep through absolutely everything, but apparently they're really sharp and really quite surprising. You'd think something was falling apart.
But it's not. It's just the ice literally in the atmosphere just cracking. It is just the ground is so saturated. A tiny little bit of water can get in a tiny little crack and it expands. And, well, that's what you hear. It's trending on Twitter.
Yeah, it's trending very, very like you, almost like Justin Bieber or Rob Ford.
That's extreme.
Yeah, that's quite the impact.
Right, we've got Mike Arsenault. He is in Mississauga at the International Centre. And Mike, you were looking at some motorcycles earlier, but you've decided that you'd like to spend a little bit of time outside. Thanks, Jeremy. I've got good news and bad news. Which would you like first? The good news? Okay. Temperatures warming up significantly. We're talking like 15 degrees by tomorrow. We're seeing a daytime high of -1. Sunday, even warmer. We're seeing a daytime high of 0. But it comes with a price. New system coming up from the U.S. It's pulling all sorts of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. We are going to be seeing a low track over southern Ontario throughout the day on Sunday, overnight and into Monday. This is going to give us the potential of 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. So just in time to get back to work and back to school. Your Monday morning commute is going to be a messy one, but we'll have all the details coming up. A rare blizzard warning was issued for the city of Halifax yesterday, and that warning continues into this morning, along with a good portion of Nova Scotia. Same advice for anyone traveling to the northeastern U.S. today. It's going to be a messy day for travel. Here at home, it's just plain cold, dangerously cold. You can see it here, steam. All right, we're going to check in with Mike Arsenault. He joins us in Toronto. And Mike, it is so cold today. People have been tweeting you about the frostquakes they were experiencing last night. A rare blizzard warning was issued for the city of Halifax yesterday, and that warning continues into this morning. Here at home, it's just plain cold, dangerously cold. You can see it here. Steam created by icy. We're going to check in with Mike Arsenault now. He is in Mississauga. And Mike, even though it is frigid, it must be nice to see that sunshine.
For obviously millions and millions of years. But this is the combination of an event and social media. Because before this, if it had happened, you'd check the house, make sure there's no intruders, and then never tell anybody about it.
Because people would think you were crazy. But now it's all over Twitter. It's actually tweeting. And Mike's in Mississauga this morning. And Mike, you were actually reading some tweets. Did your hand being outside actually get injured because of the cold? Thanks, Jeremy. Well, we do have the warm-up, but we also have some snow, and Mike's mentioned both of those just a few moments ago. The warm-up is significant. We are going to bump up 15 degrees by tomorrow. We're seeing a daytime high of -1. A little bit of sunshine still sticking around. Sunday, unfortunately, the sun, it's gone again. We do have snow on the way. An area of low pressure tracking through the U.S. is going to pick up a lot of moisture from the Gulf as it tracks its way north and east. It is going to be dropping the potential for 10 to 20 centimeters of snow throughout southern Ontario. Such a wide range because it's really depending on the track at this low. It's also going to be temperature dependent. Right now, the freezing line is just to the south of us. But if this system decides to move a little bit further north, a little bit further west, we could see some mixing throughout much of the GTA. As it stands right now, it's going to be all snow. But like I said, it's going to be heavy Sunday overnight into your Monday morning commute. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd. I'm Emily Vukovic. Is it cold enough for you? I know temperatures are frigid today. You'll need to bundle up. We're talking extra layers. We have seen cold temperatures and snow as of late throughout much of the GTA in southern Ontario. This was yesterday through Grimsby, where the weather was a disaster trying to get around. We had snow and blowing snow causing poor visibility and very slippery road conditions. There was a 30 to 40 car pileup through Beamsville. Getting around was incredibly tricky on Highway 6. 6. It was not pleasant to be going anywhere yesterday afternoon. And to top it all off, it was freezing. It's going to be another cold one today. We're looking at minus 15 as a daytime high, but feeling closer to minus 20 through Toronto. It'll feel closer to minus 20 through Hamilton. Minus 18 is the daytime high through Barrie, and it will feel closer to minus 20 through Newmarket as well. Temperatures have been record-breaking, in fact. We have seen a record of minus 24.1. The old record through Markham was minus 20.9, set back in 2008. Wind chill warning still in place. We do have wind chill values feeling anywhere from minus 30 to minus 40. It's cold. We do have a snow squall warning to the south through Sarnia. Now, we do have a band coming off the shores of Huron, causing, again, poor visibility and very slippery road conditions. We've got good news and we've got bad news coming up in the long range. The good news is that it is going to be warming up. Tomorrow, we're going to see a daytime high of minus 1, and then by Sunday, minus 1 again, but snow on the way. Now, this system is very significant because Monday is when we're all going back to work, we're all going back to school, and we are expected to see anywhere from 10 to 15, possibly even more centimeters of snow. This is going to really impact our Monday morning commute. The snow is going to last throughout the day. It's a low coming in from the States. It's drawing a lot of moisture from the Gulf, and that is where we're going to see some heavy accumulation Sunday overnight and into Monday. Stay with the Weather Network for all the details. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is January the 3rd, and it is frigid. Temperatures are incredibly cold this morning. We're talking minus 20s, feeling like minus 30s. It's going to warm up, but barely by the afternoon. But I do have really good news coming up in your long-range forecast, so make sure you stay with us for that. We are going to check in with Mike Arsenault. He is live in Mississauga. And Mike, you're totally cheating today. You're not supposed to be inside the vehicle staying warm. You're supposed to be outside in the elements. Thanks so much, Mike. Try your best to stay warm today. We are seeing temperatures warming up over the weekend. We'll talk about the snow. And I'm like Mike, I'd rather take snow than these freezing cold temperatures. I can't handle this cold. It hurts my bones, you know? It just gets right into you. Minus 20 is what it's going to feel like this afternoon. It has been record-breaking cold. Minus 24 this morning through Markham. Last record, minus 20 back in 2008. Wind chill warnings in place. A snow squall warning through the Sarnia area. We do have a band coming off of Lake Huron, causing poor visibility and very slippery road conditions. Looking at your long-range forecast with the warm-up tomorrow and into Sunday, minus 1, but significant snowfall. Lows developing in the United States. It's going to pick up moisture from the Gulf, track its way north and east, and give us significant snowfall. And as Mike was mentioning, this is the time where people are starting to get back into their routine. They start having to get their groceries for the school week and get their lunches ready and that kind of thing. It is going to be a bit of a snarl Monday morning because this heavy snow is expected Sunday overnight into Monday. So we're looking at 10 to 15 centimeters, not out of the question. Stay tuned to the Weather Network. We'll have all the updates all weekend long. At least we're not alone. Coming up, a winter wallop in the U.S. and what that means here at home.